All right, well, Aaliyah Boston, thank you so much for making the long trek to WTHR here, downtown Indianapolis, going into year 3 for you here in the WNBA. Kind of crazy. Is that crazy?
It's kind of crazy to think how fast time is going. I was actually just saying that, like, I can't believe this is my 3rd year.
Aaliyah Boston just dropped a bomb during her latest interview, and Indiana Fever fans are shook. What was supposed to be a routine media day turned into a headline-grabbing moment full of eyebrow-raising comments and serious side-eye. Is there tension inside the Fever locker room? Trouble brewing behind those highlight reels? Buckle up, because what Boston said has people talking. So here's what went down.
It's like, okay, now we come out, we have to be ready to compete, but we also know that, listen, if things aren't going our way, then we have a coach at the helm who knows how to adjust.
Aaliyah Boston sat down during Indiana Fever's latest media day, a moment fans expected to be all smiles, good vibes, and championship dreams. But Boston, she had other plans. The moment the mic hit her hand, you could feel a shift. Her tone, calm but sharp. Her words, polished but pointed. Boston started with the usual stuff: team goals, excitement for the season, and how she's grown since her rookie year. Standard athlete talk, but then she paused and dropped this gem. We're learning how to play as a unit. Some of us are still figuring out roles, and not everyone's on the same page yet.
Well, how was the offseason for you? There's a lot going on with the team, a lot going on with the WNBA, women's sports in general. How was the offseason for you?
Offseason was great.
Wait, what? That wasn't just a throwaway line. That was a subtle jab wrapped in a smile. Then she added, "We have the talent, no doubt, but talent only works if everyone's focused on the same goal." Boom. That was the line that lit up social media like the 4th of July. Fans immediately started asking, who's not focused? Who's she talking about? Is this shade? Is this beef? To be clear, she didn't name names, no finger pointing, but her message was loud enough without specifics.
You mentioned it right there. It felt like there was one week, maybe a month, maybe more ago, that it was just like bang, bang, bang. Someone else new coming to the team via trade, via free agency. All really valuable pieces. Winning experience with those additions as well. What do you make of the newcomers on this team and how everyone will gel together after such a promising year last year for you guys?
It didn't take long for the WNBA community to put 2 and 2 together. Speculations flew faster than a Caitlin Clark fast break. Some pointed at locker room dynamics. Others hinted at coaching. A few even dragged Caitlin's name into the mix, wondering if there was silent tension between the league's rising star and Boston, who's been holding it down since day one. But here's the wild part. Boston never raised her voice. She never got dramatic. She didn't even look mad. She just spoke like someone who was done sugarcoating. That calm honesty, that's what hit hardest. The media picked it up instantly. Headlines popped up. Aaliyah Boston raises eyebrows at Fever presser. Star Center speaks candidly on team chemistry. Sports podcasts were dissecting her every sentence like it was the Zapruder film. Fans flooded comment sections, some backed her. Aaliyah's just being real. This team needs to lock in. Others weren't so sure. Why air out issues in public? One fan even tweeted, "When your quietest player starts talking, something's definitely off." Ouch. This wasn't just a random comment. It was a signal, a sign that all may not be perfect behind the scenes in Indiana. And when Aaliyah Boston talks, people listen, because she's not just any player, she's the anchor, the soul of the team. So if she's sounding the alarm, it's time to pay attention. And if this was only the first spark, we might be looking at a whole firestorm brewing in the Fever camp. Let's talk about the coaching situation, because it's been a roller coaster. Christie Sides took over the Indiana Fever and, to her credit, transformed a struggling team into a playoff contender. Under her leadership, the Fever improved from a dismal .531 record to a respectable 2020, making their first postseason appearance since 2016. But despite the progress, cracks began to show. Sides was known for her intense coaching style, emphasizing effort and discipline. After a particularly rough loss to the Connecticut Sun, she didn't hold back, stating, "You can't, at this level, coach effort." She benched most of the starters, including Caitlin Clark, midway through the 3rd quarter, citing a lack of defensive intensity. Aaliyah Boston, however, continued to shine. In a game against the Atlanta Dream, she tied her career high with 27 points and grabbed 13 rebounds, leading the team to a 91-84 victory. Boston's performance was a testament to her resilience and adaptability, even amid coaching upheavals. Despite these highs, the relationship between Sides and the team seemed strained. The Fever's decision to part ways with Sides after the season, despite the team's improvement, raised eyebrows. The organization stated the move move was part of a strategy to pursue a WNBA championship, suggesting that Sides' approach may not have aligned with the team's long-term vision. Enter Stephanie White, a familiar face with deep ties to Indiana basketball. White's return as head coach was met with enthusiasm, especially given her previous roles as a player, assistant coach, and head coach for the Fever. Her leadership style, emphasizing competitive spirit and teamwork, could be the fresh start the team needs.
What was Steph's message just in her first team meeting?
Unity. I think that was the biggest thing. You know, we talked about it earlier, even in this, is the outside noise. And so for her, it's about sticking together, making sure that we are a tight unit, that nothing can poke holes in between what we have going, because that's one way to go down, and we don't want to go down.
Boston, known for her leadership and consistency, seems poised to thrive under White's guidance. Her decision to step away from social media earlier in the season, citing the need to protect her mental health, demonstrated maturity and focus. With a new coaching philosophy and a renewed sense of purpose, Boston and the Fever are ready to turn the page. The Indiana Fever's fan base is experiencing a split, and it's not just about wins and losses. Aliyah Boston's recent candid comments have stirred the pot, leading to a divide among supporters. Some fans applaud Boston's honesty, viewing her as a leader unafraid to speak the truth. They appreciate her transparency and see it as a sign of her commitment to the team's success. Social media is filled with supportive messages, with fans expressing admiration for her courage to address internal issues publicly. On the flip side, critics argue that airing grievances in public can be detrimental to team morale. They believe such discussions should remain within the locker room and worry that public comments could create unnecessary distractions. Some have taken to social media to express their concerns, suggesting that Boston's approach might not be conducive to team unity. The discourse has been further fueled by Boston's earlier decision to step away from social media due to negative comments and trolling. Her return to the public eye, coupled with her recent statements, has reignited conversations about the pressures athletes face and the role of fans in supporting or criticizing their performance. This division among the fan base reflects a broader conversation about athlete expression and accountability. While some fans value transparency and authenticity, others prioritize traditional notions of team cohesion and discretion. As the Fever navigate this period of transition, the team's relationship with its supporters remains crucial. Boston's leadership and the new coaching direction under Stephanie White will play significant roles in uniting the fan base and steering the team toward a cohesive future. Let's just say this: when Aliyah Boston talks, people listen, and after her latest interview, the media lit up like Times Square. Some called her honest, others called her bold, but no one ignored her. The headlines came fast. Boston breaks silence. Tension in the Fever locker room? Team chemistry in question. Yeah, they went there. Some sports outlets praised her for keeping it real. They said she's the leader Indiana needs. Swish Appeal highlighted how she's not afraid to speak her mind, even when it's uncomfortable. They saw it as her trying to bring the team together, not tear it apart. But others, not so generous. The Sun ran with the drama. They hinted this might be a sign that something's broken behind the scenes. One reporter even said, Boston's frustration is louder than her stats. Ouch. Then came the sports talk shows. You know the ones. Loud voices, big opinions, and hot takes for days. One panel argued that Boston's words were a direct shot at Caitlin Clark. Another said the media's twisting her message, making a leadership moment into a controversy. The truth? Somewhere in between. Because it's not just about what Boston said. It's about what the media wants her words to mean. Some want beef. Some want a locker room meltdown. Others want a hero who's fighting for her team. Even former players are weighing in. A retired WNBA vet tweeted, Aaliyah's saying what every leader thinks. She's just brave enough to say it out loud. Another posted, don't let the media pit these women against each other. That's lazy journalism. What we're seeing now isn't just media coverage, it's narrative shaping. Boston is being turned into a symbol. For some, she's the fearless captain. For others, she's the spark of controversy. Either way, her voice is loud and it's changing the conversation. For better or worse, she's forcing people to talk about leadership, team culture, and how women athletes are covered in the media. Let's not sugarcoat it. When your star player speaks out like that, it sends ripples through the whole locker room. Some players will clap, others might cringe. That's just the truth. Aliyah Boston's interview wasn't just some random soundbite. It was a message, loud, clear and emotional. Now, what does that mean for the Indiana Fever? It could go two ways. First, the positive. Her words might light a fire. Maybe it's the push the team needs. A wake-up call. Players start stepping up. The locker room gets tighter. Suddenly, the Fever aren't just playing. They're fighting for each other, for respect, for the league. That version, it's powerful. And we've seen it happen before. One player speaks up and the rest rally. They turn the noise into fuel. They go on a run and everyone forgets the drama because winning fixes everything, right? But then there's the flip side. What if some teammates took her words the wrong way? What if it creates distance instead of unity? When players start side-eyeing each other, trust breaks down, games get sloppy, the vibe gets off. Suddenly every missed pass feels personal. That's where coaching and management come in. They've got to be on it, fast. A team meeting, clear communication, address it head on, let everyone talk it out. Because if this lingers, it can poison a season. And let's be real, this isn't just about on-court stuff. The media's watching, fans are tweeting, every move gets dissected. That pressure can either crush a team or create diamonds. So what happens next? The ball's in the Fever's court. They can use this moment to grow stronger, or let it break them apart. Either way, all eyes are on them now. And Aaliyah, she's not just playing basketball anymore, she's shaping the story. Alright, let's zoom out for a second, because what's happening with Aliyah Boston and the Fever, it's not just about one team, it's about the WNBA as a whole, and it says a lot about where the league is and where it's going. First off, let's talk team dynamics. Every squad has its ups and downs, stars rise, egos clash, leaders speak up. That's not new, but in the WNBA, these moments hit differently because the spotlight hasn't always been this bright. Now, with more fans, more media, and way more attention, every word, every stare, every comment is under the microscope. Aliyah Boston's frustration, that's not some isolated mood swing. It's a glimpse into what it takes to lead in this league. And honestly, she's not the first to step up and call things out. Go back a few seasons. Remember when Liz Cambage clashed with the Aces? Or when Candace Parker made waves with the Sky's internal drama? It happens. It always has. The difference now, people care. And that's a double-edged sword. On one side, it's amazing. The WNBA is finally getting the attention it deserves. Fans are tuned in. Debates are everywhere. Social media is buzzing. That's the good news. But with the hype comes pressure. Teams are expected to be perfect. Players are expected to lead like veterans, even when they're still finding their voice. So when a moment like this happens, when a player like Boston speaks up, it becomes more than just a team issue. It becomes a league moment, a test. How does the league handle tension? How do fans react when their favorite stars show emotion? Do we support them or tear them down? And here's the truth, this kind of drama, when handled right, can actually help the league grow. It shows passion. It shows these players aren't just showing up, they care deeply. That's the kind of energy that builds rivalries, that draws in fans, that makes people pick a side and stick with it. So yeah, the Fever might be dealing with internal tension, but the WNBA, it's dealing with something bigger. A shift, a transformation. These players aren't just athletes, they're voices, leaders, and every controversy, every disagreement, every moment of raw emotion, it's all part of the evolution. The league is growing up, and growing pains, totally normal, as long as they lead to progress. Because at the end of the day, it's not about avoiding drama, it's about learning from it and using it to build something stronger. So let's break it down. This whole Aliyah Boston situation, it's not just about a single interview, it's a window into the fire, frustration, and fierce loyalty that live inside every player trying to make a difference. Boston didn't throw anyone under the bus, but her tone, her choice of words, it spoke volumes, and fans picked up on it fast. We saw it coming, honestly. The Indiana Fever has been dealing with heat all season. Missed plays, confusing lineups, and now tension that's starting to show on camera. This isn't just sports, it's pressure, legacy, and a whole lot of expectations crashing into reality. When things aren't clicking, somebody always speaks up. This time it was Boston, and we get it. She's tired of losing. She wants wins, respect, growth. So do the fans. So does the entire league. But the path to greatness, it's messy, and moments Moments like this, raw, unfiltered, and a little uncomfortable, they're part of the process. Here's the bigger picture. The WNBA is changing fast. More eyes, more fans, more emotion. Players aren't just athletes anymore. They're leaders, role models, voices, and when they talk, people listen. Whether it's Boston hinting at drama, or Reese clapping back online, or Clark taking heat, this league is alive with energy. But now it's your turn. Do you think Aliyah Boston's comments were aimed at her team? Was she justified in speaking out, or was it just heat of the moment emotion? Did we just witness a spark, or the start of a wildfire in the Fever locker room? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk, let's debate, let's keep the conversation going. If you love the basketball drama, smash that like, hit subscribe, and don't miss a single breakdown. This season is just getting started, and you're not gonna wanna blink.